Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin just hovering above 40k. We yesterday had quite a bit of a sell-off across the crypto markets. There was pretty much no crypto. I mean, there's always a few exceptions, but pretty much no crypto that did move up yesterday here in the top 100. As I said, there's always a few exceptions, but there were only two or three, and they really only moved up a tiny bit. And I think they all were stable coins, weren't they? With the exception of Waves and XC a little bit and Monero. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been doing pretty much has been doing in line with everything in line with the Elliott Wave count so far. Here, this kind of count I showed you yesterday. Told you that when we move out of this green support box, which were the support levels for that wave 3, in a bullish scenario, which in my opinion is getting less likely, that we then move down with a high likelihood here to the support level of the channel, which is 39.5k. This is also the 200% Fibonacci extension. And what did I tell you yesterday? I made that circle here yesterday and said this is probably where we're going to find support. So showed you this kind of Elliott Wave count here, where in this scenario, and this is the immediate sell-off scenario, in which we leave the channel to the downside and are going to enter here at some point the 20 to 29k area. That is still my expectation that we're going to get there, whatever way we take, right? Whatever way we take. And at the moment, yeah, we found support at the 200% FIB extension, which is normal for a wave 3. So that's pretty much in line with expectation. I told you then that we're going to see a bit of a retracement to the upside. So that is what we are seeing. So where could that retracement go to? Let's take a look. And by the way, of course it could move further. We might also just go down straight away and in a wave 3 hit the 2.618 FIB extension. That is what a wave 3 can do as well without a problem. Yeah. So if we do not retrace now enough, then the wave 3 is not yet complete. So what does a wave 3 need to do? Let's take a look. Or the wave 4, because we are now probably already in a wave 4 because we hit the 200% FIB extension. Let's take a look at the Fibonacci retracements, and a wave 4 needs to retrace at least to the 21.4% Fibonacci retracement. That would be at 41,000. That would be the absolute minimum. The ideal retracement for a wave 4 would be the 42.4k level. Yeah, this is from where we currently are, roughly 5.5–6%. Okay, but if we go to what it needs to do at a minimum, then it will only be another 2.3%, 2.4%. So that makes sense in my point of view, because we took a look at the indicators yesterday as well, and we saw across the board that they were all pretty much oversold. Yeah, there was still further downside potential on the daily, but the hourly here, if I add that, move that in, you can see on the hourly, the RSI was just oversold quite massively. On the 4-hour chart, which is the other time frame I'm looking at, we were also massively oversold. So therefore we could expect a retracement to the upside. On the 8-hour, we were oversold as well. And that is where it's getting more meaningful, on the 8-hour. And on the daily, we were not yet oversold, which means there is still, of course, more downside potential. So I think we could see here a little bit more upside. I find it a little bit less likely that we go down straight away and then come up. I think this could have been the wave 3 now, yeah, with a 200% FIB extension, makes sense as well. And based on that, we could see today and maybe the next few days a little bit of a recovery from that dip. However, we cannot yet see the momentum change on the daily. So on the daily here, the MACD is still pushing further down. However, we of course see it change on the 4-hour chart, and on the 8-hour not yet. On the 4-hour we see it, where you see here the first momentum, the negative momentum decrease on the MACD. Now it's very early days, but if this is playing out, that could help Bitcoin to move to that 41k level. Now 41 is the ideal level. It can also move a little bit higher in that retracement, and we obviously need to see, we need to then evaluate, so I can take, or I take that area now and to show my expected move for that wave 4, if it is the wave 4. So that would land here. That would land here in the area between 41,000 and 43,350, because it can land in the region, and that's the minimum it needs to do, 21.4% Fib extension, Fibonacci retracement, and the maximum, I mean, it can do more, but this is really then getting very, very unlikely. It can also reach the 50% Fib extension, yeah. So that is what we can expect here now for a wave 4. And that in that scenario, then, if we retrace higher enough, then we could move down in a wave 5 into that target area down here. And that is still what I expect. That is still what I'm looking out for. Whatever way we get to, or in which way, however, in which way we get to it, doesn't really matter. We are going to end up here. And here we are going to have a chance and an opportunity to turn around. A lot of people ask me again, what happens if we move into this target area? From my point of view, Bitcoin is then ready to move to new all-time highs. Now, if Bitcoin moves to new all-time highs with the V-shaped recovery, or if it takes a couple of months to recover, that is obviously what I can't tell you. I also don't know if we go and get into this target area. Yeah, I can only give you probabilities. I can only give you my most likely scenario and what I see in the charts. It could be very well be that we turn around at 31K. Yeah, in my opinion, then we got there very, very close, of course. But of course, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And therefore, I like to dollar cost average in this region here, just above this area. And I even have already started again to dollar cost average into Bitcoin below 40K, as I did it last time when we moved down here. So, it's all about being prepared for different scenarios. Just because you have the most likely scenario or the most likely scenarios here on the chart, Bitcoin could still do something different. And this is all about probabilities, and often it works out. I mean, we've come here from when I talked about this scenario, we've come down to 33K. We've recovered as expected, a little bit longer than expected, a little bit higher than expected. And now we might already be on the way down. Now we are still in this range. We need to understand that we are still in this range. And if we can get one more recovery move up and then come down, that would be amazing. And then we would have the next support at around 34.5K and then 33K. And then I think we can go down into that target area. Now today, important day as well, CPI data will be released. Maybe that move already had something to do with it, I don't know, but what we normally can expect, if it's already priced in the expectation, which I understand is quite high, then all we're probably going to see is volatility for maybe a couple of hours. That is what happened in the last few months. People then panic a little bit, but it's pretty much only the volatility that you see during that time. And I always try to emphasize that any move that happens in that period, maybe just before it is released to maybe a couple of hours after it is released, it's typically just a normal volatility. And what we've seen in the last few months, it's always gone back to the price level that was there before the CPI data was released. So you get a bit of up and down, a lot of bots in the place, some whales trying to make money. So we need to understand that. Good, will be an interesting day for Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. And in the video description, you can find our links to Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.